My name is Ulysses E. Campbell.
I am Shayna Taylor.
My name is Ernest Collins.
My name is Riley Knox.
I'm Alvin King, and this is We Speak. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of We Speak. Based on our audience's request, we're going to have another evening of I Speak. As if we didn't, on our last show, we didn't talk enough about Caitlyn Jenner and her transition to Caitlyn Jenner, who she is now. There's a couple of things that are also in the news that are really troubling. And the first thing that comes to my mind tonight is, I don't know, for all you frequent flyers, if you were really listening to what's going on with the TSA, but they had a 95% failure rate.
Oh, I heard about that.
The bomb.
They failed, and this is across the board. We're talking many airports across the United States, a 95% failure rate. This means that wherever you've flown in the last whenever, you could have been sitting next to somebody, the next terrorist.
I love the way you want to be politically correct about that. You're going to say something, and you reeled it in real quick.
You know, these are the same people that be grabbing your belt and crawling up between, patting you down. These are the same people that are letting people who could potentially kill us on planes.
Yeah, so they're sweating me for a lip gloss.
But I believe it because
I know.
They want to take my whole makeup bag. They want to take my travel candle. But they're letting people in with bomb material.
And I've learned how to sneak stuff through TSA, and I've really gotten through some stuff I probably shouldn't, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I hate to say it, but
And I was happy about it when I got through.
I know, I was like, ha. And I went to the bathroom and walked to the plane. It is unfortunate. I can see why they have a 95%. That's high. That's
Well,
scary.
Idiots.
That's
Well,
scary.
they hire idiots to work for TSA.
Wow.
Hey, my family members work. No, I'm just kidding. I concur. No.
No, seriously, the hiring standards are incredibly low, especially when they threw that open. After the attacks, they needed people. Right. And they took anybody. You got a pulse?
No, not anybody now. Not anybody. They took close to anybody.
You didn't get hired?
I'm not applying for that. Well, that's standing on my feet. That's 8 hours.
Perhaps
We don't work 8 hours.
Perhaps the people that you know were in the 5% category, okay? But
Everyone's doing a good job.
they're doing an excellent job. But 95%
Dang, I used to feel
of
safe.
the TSA members are not doing their job. And I mean, I found that particularly disturbing when I heard that this week. I mean, I don't know. I fly a lot. And so now I wonder what it's going to be like when we go to the airport.
Well, it's 95% from where you don't travel to or fro.
Oh.
So it's because we know the good people here in the district are within the 5%.
Okay.
Because they're strict here. And I do think that certain airports, they're a little more lenient.
Yes.
And then the other ones, they're really
LA is
strict.
lenient.
Yeah.
Well,
Long Beach is lenient.
I was in Atlanta, and I really got scared in my little sneaking scheme, and I'm not saying anything. I'm stopping right there. But when they have you put your hands up, and they wand you through the whole thing, now I want to know what the heck they're looking at.
Genitals.
Then I should have got caught.
Okay, all I'm saying, if the authorities are looking at this show,
They're checking your
he's really an honest guy.
He needs a cavity
I just
check.
want you to know, he's a nice guy, and I'm not coming to visit you.
I tell you what they're not looking for. They're not looking for Crown Royal Apple.
Right.
Because I generally tend to always give
Exactly, because they don't carry
They're
Hennessy or
not looking
cognac
for-
on the
they're
plane,
not-
so I've got to get in.
You're not looking for
Well,
Ciroc
yeah.
pineapple. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I just found that to be particularly disturbing.
I have a funny story. The last time I flew, and I wasn't even going that far. I took a plane to like Norfolk, and I was going through the line, and the lady who checks the IDs, your ticket and your ID, And so I got through, and she leaves. I was a ways away from her. She leaves her post that she's supposed to be checking all these IDs and all this stuff. I don't know if she stopped the line, and she runs over to me and she grabs my arm and she says, "Are you the Beyonce of DC?" And I went,
Do you want an
"Yes."
autograph?
I went, yeah. She's like, "Oh my God, I love you. I love your show, blah, blah," and all this stuff. And I went, "Thank you." But girl, there's some people that need their IDs checked just running straight through the line.
95%er. She was in that 95%.
I was shocked that she got up from that because she didn't sit on the stool. I was like, "What are you?"
She wants to
I
do
thought I was in trouble, honestly. She came and grabbed my hand. She said, "Excuse me." I went, "Oh Lord, what did I do already?" You know?
But I honestly think if you use your, I have used, when we were using our driver's license to go through, and some people still do, I think.
Right.
As opposed to
Some
what?
people
What else?
do.
You have to use
Well, you're a
it.
frequent
No,
flyer. You can.
I use my passport.
Right.
Yeah.
You have
Oh, you use
something.
your you travel with your passport throughout the
I
U.S.?
travel with my passport throughout the U.S., and that has cut down on me being stopped or when I go. Yeah.
Why?
It's in your mind.
I have no
It
idea.
doesn't.
No.
No.
It has,
Are you white on your passport?
No, because I haven't had that 15 minutes. I haven't had that 15. I want that 15 minutes. But I'm
Wow.
I'm sorry. I just don't see how
no, I don't. I'm a check, but no, I'm not. No, but when I use my passport, I don't get stopped at all, at all. But people who I see who use their driver's license, those are the people who tend to stop.
You know what it must be? I think it's easier for somebody to forge a driver's license than it is a passport.
Perhaps.
Yes.
And so probably in the eyes of the TSA, when they see a passport, they figure, oh, this is a genuine ID.
They let the guards down.
The driver's license.
that puts them in the 95%.
I just believe. Is it really that difficult to get a passport? I mean, it seems like a.
A fake one or a real one?
It's not the.
It doesn't seem like it's. It seems like it's kind of easy to play around with or to possibly forge, as opposed. It looks like a less legal document than a driver's license to me.
No,
I've only seen the back page. I've never obtained one. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, please call me when you go to get your passport to.
I don't want to wait.
But I think you should have one because we Geminis like to travel. So I think you should get a passport. But let me know how that is when you do it.
I shall.
And believe me, if anybody forges your passport,
It's pretty
that's not.
Okay, I'm gonna get a passport. I'm gonna go
It's
get
no
one.
joke,
It's no
especially
joke.
if you need one on relatively short notice. Because my daughter was taking a school trip. My daughter went to China. So.
nice.
Yeah. But and we had to get this thing because she needed a visa and all this kind of stuff. And that was no joke. I mean, and I was down at the post office, like 8 a.m. whenever they opened, and with all these documents and birth certificate and proof of all whatever, and you need all this stuff, and they wanted stuff for me, they wanted stuff for my wife. I mean, it was no joke.
Oh,
And notarized
wow.
statements and all kinds of crap. I mean,
Okay,
it was-
I'm gonna get a passport.
Get
done.
Please get a passport.
My parents say I have to be home right after work.
That's so gay.
Totally gay.
That is so Emma and Julia.
Imagine if who you are were used as an insult. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you were really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Be free. Nice, Dad. Nice, Dad. Nice.
Charles!
Nice, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
So, okay, I have a We Speak on that topic. I get the post office and the passport situation, and those are serious things. How about people who work in jobs that aren't so serious? but they take them so serious.
Oh my God. Like
TSA, yes.
Like
Post
you
office,
work
yes.
at McDonald's and you think that if you give me an extra sauce that is coming directly out of your paycheck.
It says 15 cents.
Or
for
Wendy's.
extra
Flashlight cops.
Or Wendy's in Greater Maryland on Branch Avenue.
Oh, you gonna call us
I'm sorry. Where the manager, why is you coming back 15 minutes late? I shouldn't hear that your staff is late coming back from their break. I shouldn't hear that on the front line.
I don't like seeing people get reprimanded in front of customers.
Exactly. And I did say something.
True story. Sunday, I was out of town, came back, and I'm in school, and I was doing some homework and didn't want to cook, so I decided to go to the Popeyes in my neighborhood because I wanted some chicken. I posted it on my Facebook, I promise you. I went to Popeyes, I won't say the location, but I go to this Popeyes all the time. I got my usual 3-piece chicken, 2 breasts and a wing, and I saw her when she put the chicken in the box, I said, something's wrong. So I'm go ahead and do what you got to do. Her name was Linda. So I go to my car and look in the box, and lo and behold, she gave me 1 breast, 1 wing, and something. I don't know what that. So I went back to her and I said,
it chicken?
It was something. It didn't look like the breast that it was sitting next to. So I went back and I said, Linda, and the store Popeyes kind of crowded. I said, Linda, you didn't give me 2 breasts. She took the box and she said, I gave you what you asked for, sir. I said, Linda, I'm hungry, and it's May 31st, and I'm not going to stand here and talk to you or debate with you what a chicken breast looks like. Well, okay, I'm going to do it for you this time.
Oh, wow.
This time,
You do that time too.
I said,
Oh,
Linda,
wow.
I said, Linda, you're taking your job way too seriously.
Way too seriously.
But I watched her exchange that chicken. I didn't take my eyes off Linda because I was going to get me my
It's some
chicken.
extra.
But my example of somebody taking their job way too serious, I'm a customer. You know what I'm saying? That chicken did not look like the other chicken the breast was laying next to. I don't know.
What was it?
It
was a half breast.
It was a half breast. It was without something.
One
that
was
made
a
it
D
look
cup and one was an A cup. You got a D cup. Yeah, that's. And I want both of mine.
Stuff falls in the deep fryer. So
Well, I think it might have been a thigh or something. It wasn't a breast. And so.
Well, here's another example of taking your job too serious. They have an app. McDonald's has an app where you get these free items or you get discount, whatever. I went to the window and the lady, most people just show the app and they'll do it. I need you to push the button that says redeem. And I need to watch the minutes count. Lady, that's way too serious. Way too serious.
But is that part of the program?
No, we have the app, the McDonald's app. You sign up, you get free stuff all the time. The Nats win, you get 6. Free, yes. And the Nats win, I get free 6-piece. McDonald's should be out of nuggets and Matt's been winning 6.
And
You know those nuggets are made of, right?
That's even more.
No, he
reason,
doesn't.
That's even more reason to dump some ice on you, okay? Because you come here looking like that, and I just sat up here and said I eat chicken, okay? So no, go ahead, earn it.
It's
Be
when
quiet,
the Nats
Tony.
win. It's when the Nats win. You get 6-piece nuggets. You just walk in. I don't want water. Don't ask me what I want. Don't introduce any menu to
Nats
me. Any new item. All I want is a 6-piece nuggets for free because the Nats won. And that's all I say.
Well, you do know that those things are created, those free things are created as salespeople.
Right.
As add-ons.
Right.
This is my chance to, okay, would you be interested? Would you like a drink with that?
And I tell them, don't
Nats
offer me anything else.
Nats nuggets.
Don't offer me anything else. I take my 6-piece nuggets with my free drink from down the street. I'm building a meal.
Courtesy water.
There you go. We're building a meal.
I'm still mad at you for leaving. I'm still mad at you. How many of you thought that anthrax was out of the picture?
It is, right?
Oh, Lord.
I should watch the news. What?
How many of you thought, just with everything else that's going on in the world, you didn't have to worry about touching some anthrax?
Please tell me West Nile disease is not back too.
No,
No.
In the news now, the government somehow shipped live anthrax to the Pentagon.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I heard that.
Live.
To take attention away from Caitlyn Jenner. I'm just saying. It takes certain things.
It didn't work.
Because it wasn't enough. No one touched it. No. Yeah,
it didn't work. But just when you thought that anthrax no longer existed, or
What do you mean the government shipped it to the White House?
no,
Pentagon.
to the Pentagon.
Oh, the Pentagon. Why?
I think
they
they're still
ship
trying
it
to
to a
figure
lab.
that out.
They probably were
probably
supposed. It was
some
misshipped
military lab or whatever, we're always messing with stuff.
because they keep that stuff.
But the fact that it was
Somebody's
live.
out of a job.
Jury
So-
warfare?
Like just with the TSA people.
Well,
Well, there might be a patsy. Who got,
well,
Some scapegoat is gonna get fired.
it just goes to show again, we live in a world where we think we're semi-safe, but we're really not.
Yeah, we live in the illusion of safety.
Illusion of safety.
I agree.
And that's important because if we knew about every scare that was out
Everything
there,
that they keep away from us.
Everything.
Jesus. No,
Yeah.
it'd be
I don't want to
all-
know.
yeah.
That's why I don't watch the news.
I get so angry about a lot of things. Like I said, we invite everybody here. This is the United States. Everybody can come here. Anybody, welcome. We don't know who the enemy is.
But you don't get
We have
mad
no
about what
idea
they
who.
put in the chicken nugget you get for free. Serve me up.
Well, I'm gonna eat my
Give me all the
6-piece nuggets.
beats you wanna give
That's
me.
gonna
Well,
happen.
you know, the
It-
United States is what do they say is the land of the home, the
land of the free and the
and
home
the
of the
free.
free. Where are you from?
So I mean, I think it's a great place. People should come here and take the opportunity and build upon what it is that you're trying to do, and go back. But you hear so many people here that just don't like it. They get mad.
You said go back.
Did I say that?
You did say that.
Go back.
You did say that.
Well, I didn't mean go back.
What did you mean?
I think you should take the opportunity and run with it. Not criticize or knock the others that aren't doing as well or that don't have the necessary opportunities that you, or that weren't afforded the opportunities that you had. We aren't getting a lot of people aren't getting the loans, the grants, the free things that people are getting when they come to the States, as opposed to those of us that live here, that work every day, and we struggle and strive, while the other people who are getting the free handouts are looking down on us as being the unfortunate, the undesirable, because we're not producing in the manner that they.
Are you
I'm
saying
trying
that we
so
live in a
desperately-
country
I'm
who
trying so
caters to
desperately to.
immigrants?
No.
There's a lot of white folks who like, that Ernest, black guy, he got it so good. There are all kinds of programs, and he got affirmative action, and he got all this stuff.
I would love them. I'd invite them to come and say that to me. I have lots of avenues they can point me to show me where it is I need to be to get to where it is they say I shouldn't be, or to stop me from saying what it is that I shouldn't say. Shall I say?
So what's funny is this. That's hilarious. While affirmative action is supposed to level the playing field, I'm a banker by trade. So I remember working for a bank. I won't say the name of the bank, but it's a bank in America. And
I think you just did.
it's a bank here in America. And it was in California. Well, the thing is that they spent a lot of money and time marketing to people coming from Mexico. They created special programs just for people coming to Mexico. They offered them loans, credit cards, all type of financing for their businesses. And we're talking about all they had to have was a Mexican driver's license. They didn't even have to have a green card. They didn't have to have a California driver's license. That we were opening accounts on particulars, the Mexican driver's license, and they were just giving loans. And other people couldn't qualify for these loans, though. So the other people in the community didn't qualify. You had to be a Mexican. I don't know if they were aliens, but they didn't have licenses or necessarily social security cards or anything, but they were offering these programs.
And where was this?
What made it good business for the bank? Because clearly they were making money off of this.
Absolutely.
I'm just wondering, because you sound like you were in a position of authority to know, and so I'm like,
yeah.
hey.
Well, it was a new market, so they were trying to gain a greater market share.
Oh, so even if in some cases some of those loans failed, they felt like just simply by virtue of the
ones that didn't fail, the interest that they were charging up, volume.
Yeah. Wow.
I wonder, could they go to the black bank down the street? Because you guys had one.
Yeah, before it closed down, because everybody was going to the bank that was in America.
That was our first. That was the first black-owned bank.
Yeah, it was a black-owned bank, but people in the community didn't want to put their money into the bank because they were afraid.
I don't know if you all have looked in the news. Tom Hanks, the actor, brilliant actor Tom Hanks, has a son a rapper by the name of Chester Hanks.
Yes.
And his rapper name is Chet Hayes, and he
poor
is
child.
he is I guess being very vocal about his use of the N-word in his lyrics and using them freely, and pretty much telling everybody blow off because I'm going to use it in my songs because you're not going to tell me when and how to speak.
He said because of the people that he is around and the friends that he has.
They
By the
located?
way, he has a what they call a black scent.
Black.
But that's what they say.
Black scent, okay.
And he is
Go,
very much,
Chester.
and he feels like he has a right to use the word because he uses it with his friends and they're okay with it, and that it's a kind of a thing.
A term of endearment.
A term of endearment. So why couldn't he has freedom of speech and he'll say whatever he wants. Now he also released another statement and it was kind of backpedaling, but it was actually making him look worse.
Yeah,
what was
of course.
it? I forgot what it was.
I didn't. I know that he released another statement. I just got so caught up in him being very vocal in his first statement, saying, "I'm going to use it. I'm going to say in whenever I want, the way I want, how I want, when I want, and to who I want."
And it is his right.
Except me. He can say it to whoever he wants.
He can say it right.
He can say
You
it.
can say it.
Now what happens
Say
next?
it to you, but you can kick him in his balls.
Well, he probably wouldn't get it out. He probably wouldn't get it out.
But it's so funny because he's trying to say that it's a product. He's a product of his environment or the people that he hangs around with, and he's Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson's son. So we
Because
already know that he
he
did not grow. He grew up of privilege. It's not like he grew up, somewhere in
In the hood.
Compton or somewhere, anywhere, in the hood. So,
How about he said the only people who are truly offended by the fact that he wants to use the N-word are the people who probably grew up around the Jim Crow era.
Okay, that's enough people. I mean, because it's a lot of those people alive
He
still.
said that.
But it's a lot of those people still alive, so he
Right.
cares not about offending them,
At all.
which
he
would be
doesn't
his
care
dad.
about offending anybody.
Which would be his dad, because his dad was around.
And I
in the
think that's
Jim Crow
part of
era.
his thing to get people to talk about him.
So
which
he's
is
making
bad,
himself
but-
relevant using the camera and his dad's name and his
But he
status.
would have
too.
been relevant just being Tom Hanks' son.
Right, but
And
to,
then they have
well,
another
no,
son who
no,
is
no,
just
no,
a really
no,
good
no.
actor and is really like straight laced and everything. But this one is like,
But now it's going to take him out. He is not necessarily Tom Hanks' son. He could be to some people that child.
That idiot.
That idiot that wants to that wants to use the N-word.
Well, he's probably an N-word, so I'm over him. I'm ready.
Already?
If I could say it, I would say it.
Oh, come on. Come
Lord
on,
knows
come
I
on,
want
come on,
to.
come on.
NS?
Uh-huh.
Right. That's NS right there, and that's him.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Are you ready?
Ulysses, I know you said earlier that you had something that you wanted to share with us earlier, that you had a We Speak that you wanted to talk about. We were upstairs. Ulysses looking at me like, no, I don't think so. I don't think he wants to do it. Come on, you can do it.
Actually, I'll use this because I was thinking as we were talking about this, something that I read earlier today, and there was an academic who actually wrote about this. College professor who was, and it occurs to me only because of what we were just talking about here. because it seems as if people and
Ooh, this is going to be so good. This is going to be so good.
I know. It's just,
I'm excited. I'm excited. This is going to be good.
He was talking about his experiences in the classroom and how, because of course, college is supposed to be a time that you consider a number of different points of view, sometimes challenge preconceived notions that you have. And the subject of this particular essay was that this is not what's going on. And in fact, there are a lot of academics who are essentially being punished for not even going out on a limb, but for making students feel uncomfortable. And sometimes students feel uncomfortable when they are faced with situations that are new or that challenge their perceptions or their pre-existing point of view. And he had a number of different examples where academics, works of known authors like Mark Twain, were not being referenced or used because in some instances you have students who, well, that makes me feel uncomfortable. And it's not so much even about the validity of what it is that may make these people feel uncomfortable. It's simply the fact that something makes people feel uncomfortable, and students viewed more as customers of the university rather than students who were supposed to be educated.
So were these students like going to the dean saying that these professors were, again, making them feel uncomfortable by teaching them? Because I'm not going to name the university, but I know that I have been at a university where I have seen a student get mad at the teacher because the teacher said, you need to read this material. And the student said, what do you mean I have to read?
I know, imagine that.
And I'm talking higher learning. I've seen that happen. So,
well, in some cases, yeah, this is what happens. And it's not blown off by the dean or by the head of the department. They actually there's some disciplinary action that isn't, people have lost tenure or simply had their positions not renewed when they came up for that.
That's scary.
Yeah, no, it really is.
That's
I mean,
scary.
it was. I wish I could remember and hopefully our producer will find this and there'll be a crawl or something, because it was very interesting reading. And I thought about that just now when we were having the conversation that we were. It's like nobody wanted to actually say the word. And, we all black folks in here too, and in a forum like this.
Oh, no, we want to say the word. No. We just can't say the word.
And believe me, we did have a show where
we had a show where we said it about 20-something times.
And it was bleeped.
It was bleeped
20 times. 20, really? I think it was like something like 22.
What is this? Is this the FCC saying that you can't say this?
Well,
or is this some station regulation?
Well, I know it was
challenge.
Challenge. Freedom of speech. Well, I mean,
yeah, because that's what it's about. It is.
Well, I mean, you can try it, but I'm just saying it might be bleeped. But
so we didn't say it for the lack of not wanting to say it.
No, yeah. See?
They would bleep that.
Yeah, you were bleeped.
Okay, for you at home, either you heard it or you heard a bleep.
Well,
I want to be bleeped.
Ladies and gentlemen, please tune in. Please tune in to the next episode of We Speak to hear the N-word. Okay?
Bleeped yet again.
Bleeped again.
We ought to run some sort of disclaimer saying that the opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the producer.
I think there is one.
It is one of those.
Yes,
It is one of those.
there
It
is
is one of those. It is one of those. Yeah, it is. But no, we did have an episode that we talked about all the police brutality, and then speaking of universities, that fraternity that had that chant on the bus.
They'll never be.
My brother who was talking about it afterwards.
Yeah, and we talked about that, and I think I even sung this. Someone made me sing.
Yes, you sang it. Not very well.
And it'll never happen again.
Never.
But we're in a society where people are so sensitive to so many things, and people, and I hate to hear that the colleges are actually probably changing some of the material and which in turn will change people's educational value and change what some people learn because some people are so sensitive.
Yeah, and
it's crazy.
Yeah, but what bothers me about that is, because, there's some things that I absolutely feel it's valid to be sensitive about. Right. And then there are other things that, wait a minute. And depending on the setting, because in an academic setting, young people this is how you learn. This is how you begin to actually form opinions that have some validity, and where you test certain limits and where you explore the boundaries of what is appropriate or what is not, or pursuing knowledge and information, to enrich yourself or to enrich your life, and to not have that opportunity because another student in the class says, oh, well, now I feel, not even necessarily offended, but I feel uncomfortable by this particular subject matter, or even the beginning of a discussion of particular subject matter. And that, because that's bordering on censorship. And again, there's certain environments where that's appropriate, but I don't think that an academic institution, undergrad, I don't think that's one of them.
Well, I think some schools are known for being a little bit more controversial with their topics and their teachers being more controversial. So send those professors to those schools because those are great schools.
I don't know how much of that is constant, though. This particular, the author of this piece seemed to feel that this was unequivocally across the board, just in terms of higher education. And, apparently educators are backpedaling.
Wow. I do have another, thank you, Ulysses. I do have a We Speak that has actually been kind of troubling to me. I don't know, I know Riley says she doesn't look at the news, but there has been a huge onset of people doing stupid things with their kids. Like, there's a school teacher who was on her way to school in Florida, and she left her 18-month-old child in the car. She got out at 7, and she went in to teach. And she left the child in the car all day.
This is still happening?
This is still happening. There is a mother who left her child at home because she wanted to go out dancing. And so she left her child at home. And again, this is one of those cases, unfortunately, the child died. There was a CEO who left her child in the car because she wanted to attend a meeting. And the child died. There is so much of that happening, and my thing is, people, come on. There are so many people out here who want children, who want to take care of kids, who really, really, really want kids, and this is what you do after, you've been blessed to have a child.
Alvin, you don't need a license.
Well, that's funny because you remember the movie Demolition Man. Am I dating myself? Well, you went back older than me.
I know the movie.
And Sandra Bullock. In there, they talk about in that day and age, you had to have a license in order to have a kid. He's like, have kids. She was like, you got to have a license for that. You have to have a license.
There should be like a.
There should be something. There really should be. There should be limitations, qualifications. You should not just be able to have the pleasure and enjoyment and produce something that you cannot necessarily take care of or afford. I think that there should be credentials or limitations as to. There are certain people who rely on. I think there was something in something online where some lady was talking about being on welfare, and California has the best, the highest, the highest paid for whatever, and she's motivated by that. I believe she shouldn't have any more kids. She should be cut off right then and there. I'm not saying no longer have the desirable, pleasurable sex, I guess is what you want to say. You can have sex.
Castrator, you're saying?
She just can't have kids, whatever it is. You cannot have a child. If you cannot afford it, I think you should have to look like a church. Before you can have a child, some churches you have to have a W-2 form. Show how much you make before you can have a child. I'm sorry. I really believe that. I really believe that.
I never heard of that.
There are churches you have to show.
Oh, there are churches. Oh, there are churches, mega churches. You have to show your W-2 before you.
You have to have a W-2.
I've heard.
I'm not going to mention churches because I visit them in LA, but you have to show your W-2. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. The mega churches.
So that they can know. I'm saying the mega churches. You're making it like it's all mega churches.
The mega churches.
The mega church, and they do
not.
They never ask.
They're very few.
They don't want your W-2, so.
Well, maybe you got grandfathered in.
I'm new. Look, I'm a new member because I'm new to the area.
No, I mean.
But they didn't ask for a W-2.
But this is for paying your tithes, or?
Yeah, I think that's
expect that.
Certain churches you have to, so they know that you're not shorting the Lord. you must.
Oh, I used
you
to hear
must
about
show,
that. But
I've heard about it, but I've
heard
never
about it.
seen
That's
any
never happened.
requirement they had to join a particular church.
No.
Or is it simply that
I
they
thought
want
that's
to
what it
make
was
sure
too.
they're-
That's not what it is.
Well, no.
It's all about getting the
Hear me out now.
10%.
It
Or you
does
gotta
matter.
make enough money
The
and
amount
give
of money
us
that you make does put you in a certain place or position.
Get a certain seat. In there.
Absolutely.
Oh, I know what
I'm
church you're
trying to
talking
dance
about.
around all this,
I know
okay,
what
without
church
getting
you're
myself
talking
in
about.
trouble. But
You'll be in the seats when the
and at the
cameras
same
start
time, it's
showing you.
also for tax purposes. They're saying it shows that you're not shorting. You make this amount of money. You should at the end
Your
of the year.
10%.
Don't make me
Those
call you
mega
to the office
churches,
because
they
you're
have
not paying your
huge
percentage.
Well, I
electric
think
bills
that
and stuff
relationship
has to
is
be paid.
That's true.
They're
But
big churches.
that relationship is between you and God. If you want to short, all churches have bylaws and I mean, you know, and
Did he just say short the Lord?
if you want to shortchange the Lord, that's between you and God. You know what you're doing. But if you know if you are a church goer, and if 10%, if you are supposed to, your tithe is 10% of your earnings, and you don't pay it, that's between you and God.
Yeah, but Alvin,
You just
the
can't come to
pastor's
our
the
church.
middleman.
You're right.
The middleman's gonna make sure.
But you should be doing it. I've never gone to a church where they ask for your W-2, and I hope I never do.
And I hope that you.
I hope they never ask you either, because I got a feeling something.
It's gonna be about, I'm like, the Lord just loves a cheerful giver.
And I think
So
the
now,
Lord-
wait a minute. I'm dying to know the answer to this question. You said you weren't asked for a W-2.
I was not ever.
What would your reaction have been if you were? What would you have said, Ms. Taylor?
I'm gonna go to sleep and pray on it, and when I wake up, if the Lord directs me to pass you my W-2, then you so shall have it.
But here's one that will get me kicked out.
Very
10%, if you look in the Bible, it says cattle, it says sheep, or flock. So imagine me walking into a mega church with a cow or some type of cattle, because
If
this
that's
is
your
the
10%,
then that's it.
but you don't have any sheep.
How far would I get kicked out, though?
But you don't have any sheep.
You don't
that
have any
I know
sheep or
of.
cattle. That's
You
not.
don't have. I don't know.
I may decide to invest in sheep
Well, then you
and
should
cattle,
get,
and I should be able to roll them right onto church, right?
Be free. Nice, Dad. Nice, Dad. Nice.
Charles.
Nice, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're gonna beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad
One more
today.
time. Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
So I don't understand why you have to have. It does make sense when you think about it. When you are adopting a child, you go through so much screening. They want to
Classes,
know their house.
education.
They want to make sure they want education.
right.
They want to know every single thing about you.
You're right.
Yet you can just give birth to a kid and do whatever you want.
And good luck to them.
Exactly.
I just
To
think
be
that's so
born into
sad
any
is when
family.
you have these parents who have these children, and I guess I'll give a case and scenario where you don't like the baby's father or the baby daddy, to be politically correct. And you have all these different kids, and now you're treating this child, yelling at this child. You have all these different kids, and all they know And when they grow up, they're going to be just like the mother or the parent that they're yelling at. You know, you're worthless. Bottom line is, you should not have kids if you can't afford to feed them, if you can't afford to give them the proper guidance to have them survive in the world. I mean, I just think there should be stipulations when you're bringing kids into this world, because they didn't ask to come. No one's asking them to come here. Right. So when you bring them here, to let them free, to have them starving, to not take care of them, you're doing a disservice. So you should not be allowed to have. I honestly, if I had my choice, and I was president, which I'll probably never be, 2 kids minimum. If you don't have a job, you're not having any more kids. If you can't show them you can take care of these,
somewhere in Asia,
it won't be here. It won't be here. But it would be a great rule of responsibility for a parent. I mean, like I said, nowadays we're laying around having kids for the pleasure, and women are carrying 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 kids. They can't take care of them, so we take care of them. I don't have a problem taking care of a child that needs to be taken care of, but not a child that you are having that you don't want to take care of because you know I'm going to take care of it, or we're going to take care of it.
The other thing is, and this is really sad, one of the reasons that I have heard expressed that people have kids sometimes is because they want that unconditional love. And you know, nobody loves you the way your baby does, you know, especially when they're little. You know, I mean, it's like you hung the moon. You know, I mean, if that's...
Is that selfish?
Get those people counseling.
You know,
I say
if it's a component of something else, then no. You know, but if that is the sole reason, you know, because there comes a point when that child is not loving you unconditionally any longer, and that's when a lot of times these folks are done with them. Yeah, you know, that's right. Oh, well, all right, now you too big, and you know, whatever.
I say, get a pet. I really do. I say, get a pet.
Get a cat.
But ladies and gentlemen, we have to bring our show to a close right now.
That was quick.
I know, it was quick. Well, it's always quick with you guys because it's always so... I'm sorry, Ernest. I'm sorry.
I'll save it for next week.
Save it for next.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring our show to a close. We thank you for joining us tonight. We also like to thank Ulysses for being a special guest on our show. We appreciate having you here. You're fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to contact us, go to our Facebook page. I think it's www.facebook.WeSpeak.com. I'm not sure, but it's on Facebook. You can find us. And we look forward to seeing you again when next we speak. Have a good night. I said just go to Facebook.
Just go to Facebook.
Just go to Facebook.
Maybe they'll flash across the screen.
That's what it needs to be. Just
the crawl going across the screen.
Just go to Facebook. Well, I had lost.
Go here.
I lost my place on this thing. I'm hot.
I have to show you guys a video on the I Speak that I was going to do tonight. Oh, you have to see it. It's so hilarious.
Yeah, I'm sure it's right here, so just check it
my
out.
phone's over there.
Now you done pointed. Yeah, now I got to make sure there's something there.
No, we didn't.
And
wait, I thought you did your I Speak out.
No, I didn't. I was speaking in a...
You didn't do your I Speak?
No. But it's okay.
Like
I'm going to show you guys. But
I did 4.
Yeah.
I was trying, but look, ain't nobody.
I came up with one while you.
He was the only one who had one.
Who?
Ernest.
I have several.
At the beginning, he was.
Damn,
he
you gotta pay
me.
me.
He did before we started.
When it's time. This went by really fast.
I know. I went right to you.
Ernest, I need to steal some of yours. Look at that long list.
I really did. I went through some research for this.
How many did you?
See